lovely good evening and welcome to ICU TV Main News. My name is Miriam Deborah-Gamani and here are our stories making headlines. Government records 50% increase in the Treasury release value. And Zambia signs AI education technology partnership. And later in the news, man sustains serious burns after brother allegedly sets house ablaze in Lusaka. And in our international news, Rwandan President Kagame meets Kazakhstan delegation on mineral cooperation. And in our sports news, Zambian Strongman Habeenzu finishes fourth at Arnold Classic. More details coming shortly. And now the news in details. The government of Zambia says the February Treasury release of 14.5 billion kwacha has recorded a nearly 50% increase after value compared to the same period last year. Authorities said the improvement is due to a stronger kwacha, lower inflation and improved food security, with Hakainde Hichilema emphasizing government's commitment to economic stability and sustainable growth.
The February 2026 Treasury release of 14.5 billion kwacha now carries roughly 50% more real value than the same amount released in February 2025. Here is why. In February 2025, the Ministry of Finance and National Planning released 14.5 billion kwacha to fund government operations, public services, social programs, and infrastructure. In February 2026, the ministry has again released 14.5 billion kwacha. On paper, the figure is identical. But in real economic terms, the value of that spending has increased significantly. In February 2025, 14.5 billion kwacha was equivalent to roughly 515 million United States dollars when the kwacha was trading near 28 to the US dollar. Today, with the exchange rate around 19 kwacha to the dollar, the same 14.5 billion kwacha is worth approximately 770 million United States dollars. That represents an increase of about 255 million United States dollars in purchasing power, meaning the same amount of kwacha now carries close to 50% more real value in the economy than it did a year ago. Several major economic changes explained this shift. First, the kwacha has strengthened considerably. A stronger currency means government spending stretches further when purchasing imported goods such as fuel, fertilizer, medicines, equipment, and other inputs required for public service and infrastructure. Second, inflation has fallen sharply. Early last year, prices were rising at more than 16%. Eroding the value of incomes and government spending. Inflation has now declined into the 6 to 8% policy range, meaning the money released by the Treasury retains far more of its value when it reaches households, suppliers and service providers, of course. Third, energy supply has stabilized. A year ago, the economy was operating under heavy load shedding that disrupted production and forced many businesses and institutions to rely on costly generators. With electricity supply now more stable, economic activity is operating more normally and public spending delivers greater economic output. Fourth, food supply.
The Zambian government has signed a memorandum of understanding with UK-based education technology firm Ablaze Limited to explore the use of artificial intelligence in transforming the country's learning systems. Minister of Technology and Science Felix Mutati says the partnership will introduce AI-powered adaptive learning solutions in selected secondary schools through a pilot program. The initiative will see curriculum content digested while supporting teachers with data-driven insights to improve learner performance. Meanwhile, Ablaze, Chief Executive Officer of Ablaze, says the company is pleased to support the development of Zambia's education sector and believes the program will benefit both learners and teachers. A 32-year-old man is nursing serious burns after his brother allegedly set their house on fire in the Landa compound in Lusaka on Sunday evening. Residents reportedly had a heated argument between the two brothers moments before the house was set ablaze. The victim was rushed to Levi Madawasa University Teaching Hospital, where he is currently receiving medical treatment for the injuries sustained. Authorities are expected to institute further investigations into the incident. We'll take a first break. Stay tuned for more local stories.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development.
Welcome back, and now in our local stories. The Department of Veterinary Services in Northern Province has successfully completed the vaccination of 22,172 cattle against contagious bovine pulmonary CBPP out of the targeted 22,540 animals. Provincial Veterinary Officer Dr. Sidney Kalenga said the exercise has significantly improved animal health with no recorded cases of the disease in the province. Dr. Kalenga also disclosed that Mbala and Senga Hill districts have not recorded any outbreaks of transboundary animal diseases. He added that the department is now preparing to vaccinate livestock against foot and mouth disease after receiving 23,000 doses for the upcoming exercise. The Bishops' Council of Zambia has called for continued peace and unity as the country prepares for the 2026 general elections scheduled for August. BCZ President Martin Silwambi emphasized the importance of peace for national development and urged politicians to promote messages of unity during their campaign. Bishop Silwambi also appealed to youths to avoid being used as tools of violence and called for respect towards the office of the president. He echoed Ms. President Hakainde Hichilema's condemnation of men making inappropriate advances towards young girls, stressing that young people must be protected and that all citizens, including the head of state, deserves respect. The Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested and charged 2 officials from Mukushi District Education Board Secretary Office and 2 bank employees in connection with alleged corruption involving more than 100,000 kwacha and the Ministry of Education school feeding program. Nkuwa and Accounts Assistant Kempa Akelo, who are alleged to have been abused their authority in facilitating the awarding of the contract worth 1 million kwacha for the supply of beans in Chikwekwele Multi-Purpose Cooperative. According to Acting Head of Cooperative Communication, Chilufya Chisenga, investigations indicate that the officials allegedly received gratification exceeding 100,000 kwacha from the cooperative's chairperson, Dennis Charles Benis, and Secretary Joseph Mwape in exchange for securing the contract. The Commission has since warned public officers against engaging in corrupt practices, emphasizing its commitment to upholding accountability and prosecuting individuals found abusing public trust. We take a short break. Coming up in international sports news. Don't go away.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Welcome back, and now in our international news. Rwandan President Paul Kagame met a delegation from Kazakhstan Sovereign Wealth Fund Samuk Kazian to discuss cooperation in critical minerals. The meeting follows a 2025 agreement between the two countries on mining exploration and investment. Rwanda is seeking to expand its role in the global supply chain for minerals used in electronics and clean energy technologies. The country earned about $1.7 billion from mineral exports in 2024 and aims to increase this figure to over $2 billion by 2029. And still in our international news, South Africa plans to establish the South African National Property Company to oversee state assets worth R155 billion, including 88,000 rands building and 5 million hectares of land aimed at boosting the sovereign health fund. The government says annual expenditure of 6 billion rand on private landlords will be redirected to develop and maintain state-owned properties, addressing decades of mismanagement and the 28 billion rand maintenance blockage. You're still watching ICU TV Main News. We take a short break. Coming up in sports news. Welcome back, and now in our sports news. Zambian Strongman Inspector Gift Habeenzu has finished fourth at the Arnold Classic World Championship Strongman competition held in Columbus, Ohio, in the United States. The event, which ran from March 5th to 8th, attracted more than 400 participants from different countries around the world. Habeenzu narrowly missed out on a podium finish as American athlete Steve Budley claimed first position, while second and third place were also taken by athletes from the United States. Inspector Habeenzu, who is an instructor at the School of Public Orderly Maintenance at the Mobile Unity in Kitwe, has been commended for representing Zambia with distinction at the global event. That sports item brings us to the end of ICU TV Main News, but before we leave, here are the stories making headlines. Government records 50% increase in Treasury release value. Zambia signs AI education technology partnership. Man sustains serious burns after brother allegedly shot said house ablaze in Lusaka. In our international news, Rwandan President Kagame meets Kazakhstan delegation on mineral cooperation. In our sports news, Zambian strongman Habeenzu finishes fourth at Arnold Classic. Thank you so much for tuning in for our main news. For more news updates, stay tuned to our Facebook page ICU TV and our website at icutv.zm. Good night and God bless.